There's a trending story coming out now that some lady who was at a park was
Slurring.
yeah, was using slurs against a 5-year-old black kid who's autistic because I guess
Did you call him the child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him. Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again?
after the fact the video went viral. She claimed that her life was being severely impacted by it, so she made a GoFundMe, and it's raised over $500,000.
Yeah.
Okay. People want to draw parallels with another case. There's a lot of stuff happening, but I want to play for you like a Pierce Morgan clip because like people went online to either defend the lady or go against what she was doing, or the GoFundMe. And this is one of the ladies who was just there talking.
Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in a country.
No, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say.
Piers on the side of, well, I mean, I guess he can't. Okay, hold on a second. Wait. Let me walk that back a second. I guess he can't really be on the, like, he can't even pretend to appear to be on the side of the people saying the N-word. Right?
Would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
Hmm? What?
I'm surprised Pierce doesn't know this because this girl went viral for doing that. She's one of those people who went viral on Twitter because she's like a white lady who likes saying the N-word a lot.
Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke-ass.
A few moments later.
Oh, Tuna! You guys are saying so dumb. I'm not saying we lay off the gas just because she's only racist for money. No, I understand. Get in the green room. Because I kind of understand your point, but I also kind of don't understand why you're making, like, what is the motivation? Okay, Tuna. You know what? I'll be nice. I'll give you 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh my god. The sweet charity. Okay. This is the point, and it should be very easy and obvious.
Okay.
This one is clearly we will speak not from the position of the left that we are on or the right that they are on. We are going to talk from a purely neutral position because it's important to recognize tactically strategic. I'm not saying we lay up on the gas pedal because, well, she's not really racist. It's just for the money. That's an obsession with, well, what should we do in terms of critiquing her? You critique somebody for saying something or doing something that you think is bad. You don't do it because of their soul. I'm not a person who believes that it's about divine punishment for the core of their being. What I'm saying is, in many ways, in several ways, this woman is, if I were a right-winger, I would look at her the same way that I look at Milo Yiannopoulos, the same way that I look at, is there some famous, what's the guy who runs Kick? Aiden Ross.
Sure.
I would think of them the same way that I think of Aiden Ross. He's a Jew, and I can take advantage of him and use him. And that is like what they think. I think this woman is getting away with not being seen that way. I'm sure that some people see her that way. But the whole point is, she's not useful. She's genuinely just a waste of their money. She is not a good, well-spoken, agreeable. She's not like so pretty that she's going to make racism cool by being. She is a worm. She's a rat. As soon as she has enough money to be bought by AIPAC, she's going to be pro-Israel. She's nothing. She is Wait, the whole point is that she's a glove for whichever hand hands her more money.
No, hold on a second. No, though. Okay. Even if I agreed with you, which, by the way, I don't, there are absolutely people who are going to be bought, the fact that she's an influencer at all, to any, degree of the word, means that there are people who have bought into this idea, right? That they have taken it hook, line, and sinker. But here's the thing, is, like, why, even if I agreed with it, I'm saying that the function of what she's doing is she's allowing it to be more proliferated, and like it just allows it to be like there's just way more instances of it happening where there's no cancellation. Also, Black Yamato, we are talking. Wait, real quick. I will in fact pause the timer for this. Black Yamato, we're talking about the incident of the woman calling the child an N-word. And basically, you know, by extension of that, I guess Piers Morgan did a stream, fucking panel, where he had a woman who was basically open about using the N-word, an influencer, completely different woman, okay? And so Tuna's basically saying she's a grifter. People, even the racists, know that she's a grifter, or some of them do, right?
No, it's I know that some of them do. What I'm saying is that she's so bad at it. She's like, look at what's happening on Pierce right now. She's being embarrassed. She's not able to rhetorically stand her ground. It's important to have it. The correct position is to say, yeah, she's a stupid, racist, dumb bitch in public, but recognize also in private that, well, she's not a real racist. She's not smart. She doesn't have the, if you ask her a question that is not off of her script, if she's not just pulling from her learned lessons, she's not going to do a good job. She's not Lauren Southern, for instance. And even Lauren Southern was not that particularly smart.
No, but you
so
understand.
What's important is let them waste their money paying for an ill-spoken, dumb bitch to be the representation of racism.
Okay, but here's the problem, is that, like, again, yes, people have bought in, but now they have a person that they are rallying behind, and slowly gaining more confidence in their ability to say the N-word without consequences, because then they're just building the area. It's like it is very much like, you know, how, you know, cutting off people doesn't really work anymore in the or, you know, or banning people from, like, social media sites doesn't really work anymore, because these people will just then go to the corners of the internet where they are accepted and become more radicalized, right? So what I'm trying to say to you is that, functionally speaking, this woman isn't. I don't care that she's a grifter. I would agree with you that she is a grifter, but I don't think that she should be I don't think that she should be disregarded just because she's a grifter. Like,
I'm not disregarding her. I
mean, you're saying that
she's
they
so
should.
bad.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm saying she's so bad at her job that we should count ourselves lucky that they have a black hole that is not giving them any good returns and is just wasting them money and time.
No. I'm saying that but I'm saying that I'm saying that those are still good returns from them. Because every single okay, actually, hold on, wait, real quick. So Eon said she thinks she won, watching her on Rhizome talking about how her and Myron own the far left peers. So now, okay, she you know, like, now she and Myron are in cahoots, preaching to their audience like, oh, you know, we won. And now Myron's audience is further emboldened to do this sort of thing. And hers by extension. Do you think that that's not giving them any gains?
Are you making a pun with Myron right now?
Oh,
I don't think that they're making gains.
But that's actually very funny. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No,
it's funnier when you did it. Okay, yeah.
No, so I mean, Claire, to me, and this, you know, touched into a bit of a conversation that you were in the room for behind the scenes, but
yeah.
I personally don't believe that the people that are following Myron, for instance, on a podcast, are particularly useful people. I think that they're useful when you're trying to get clicks, when you're trying to get people to, like, donate money to a stream and such, but I don't think that they are politically assembled. I think that they are mostly disengaged people who will be radicalized socially, but they are not the heavy hitters of this thing, and that they are fundamentally not able to cross-pollinate with other people because they don't carry a social positive weight. It is all built off of the black pill, red pill area. I think the manosphere is I think it's much more inert than other people think.
Would you say the same about, okay, listen, at risk of turning this into a whole shit show, I'm just gonna ask you this question and then we're gonna move right past it, okay? Would you say the same, would you say the same about, for example, like lefty stuff that's like something, like an insane take that, for example, Hassan has, right? Would you say the same for that?
What do you mean? Like,
am I? Would you say the same?
Okay.
Would you have
the?
Would you have the same? Would you come away with the same conclusion that, like, ultimately speaking, an insane take that Hassan has is not going to result in much, because these people are just the same as the incels in Myron's community. They're not politically whatever, right? Like, most people are there for entertainment and so on.
Yes.
Like, would you have the same take?
Yeah. Like, very obviously, I'm not one of these people who thinks that, like, I personally think that, when Hassan said America deserved 9/11, sure, fair, go ahead and say it. When he has, like, the Houthi pirate on, sure, go ahead. I would let people interview literal Hitler. I think that people who are on this website watching quote unquote political, capital E, entertainment are not the types of people that you can actually make direct appeals to. Their decisions, what they do behind the cloak and veil, if they do decide to vote, usually comes down to something material in their real life. Everybody's playing an RPG, like an MMO RPG online when they're inside of these spaces in order to live out a sort of fantasy alt persona most of the time. I don't think that, like, a lot of people inside of these communities are voting Democrat behind the scenes, are voting Republican, and they entertain themselves with this entertainment. And then there are a bunch of people that are true believers of this stuff. They don't do voting. They don't leave their house. They don't do assembly.
But hold on.
There's a filtration mechanism at the heart of the thing where the reasonable people make reasonable decisions and can be reasoned to, but the unreasonable people, they don't do anything. They can't be reasoned to. They're just entertaining themselves. You don't walk in on a person masturbating and say, hey, you really should probably, like, clean yourself up and XYZ. And also, by the way, don't you think you should, like, vote for it? They're not voting.
Well, but
they
hold
have
on.
their pants at their ankles.
But Tuna, like, okay, I'm just giving you an example, right? Like, and we will take it back to the race. I don't want to go down a Hassan. I don't want to go down a Hassan rabbit hole at all.
No more stipulations.
No
more stipulations.
No. But, like,
okay.
Okay. Basically, though, okay, somebody watching this panel who agrees with this woman or, like, is a Myron fan, right? Like, absolutely, I can see a good chunk of them going over to the freaking Give Send Go page and donating, right? Isn't that like a direct I mean, even if it's not voting, it's still enabling a, like, woman who has been quite literally being raised like an actual woman, not a grifter, right? Enabling that racism.
What I'm saying is that as soon as her value, as soon as her, like, ability to be useful as a political actor is, which will be represented by the dollar amount that she can expect to be given, she will easily be bought out by whatever the opposite side is. And until that point, she is just a hemorrhage by which they bleed money.
Wait, real quick. Sorry, Yamada. I know you just came in. I just want to clarify one point real quick. To be clear, Tuna, these are two different women, right? I'm saying that, like, I'm
not talking about the woman on the street.
No,
I'm talking about the woman on the TV show.
No, what I'm talking about is the woman on the panel.
Panel?
Hear me out. The woman on the panel is basically enabling and indirectly providing support to the woman on the street because in going on this panel and arguing her case, of course that give send go link is going to be proliferated everywhere. Go donate if you believe in what we were saying, if you think that W racism, right? And so therefore this results in like a quite literally a direct benefit to the woman on the street.
So
Yeah, sure.
Here's what I say. Concerning this influencer. Like she's the same lady that said the broke ass N-word thing the last time. Like this just seems to be something that she's just against cancellation to begin with. I think she's one of those people that will take small time victories and turn them into like massive wins. Like, and every time we say something like, oh, we shouldn't take them seriously, these people gain over time. Like, I think
can I be clear? I'm saying that I think that because she's purchasable, and because I think the only reason that she's on the position that she's on right now is because she's purchasable. I also think that she can be bought by AIPAC, Russia. She can be bought by I think that she would take money straight out of any pocket that offered her the best total.
I don't believe that's true. Because
really?
She's been doing this for a fucking while. Yes. She's been doing this free speech absolutum shit for like a while. Like, this is no new grift. She's like been completely against the shit since the beginning. Since her very cancellation. I mean, sure, people have given her money, but like, no, this is a chick that's been canceled and took that fucking cancellation and made a small victory out of it. Got massive amount of followers after that. And look, she's on Piers Morgan's thing. Now,
yeah,
if Piers had not been interrupted, would she have actually said it on Pierce's show to the world? I would say no, because on the internet is one thing, but worldwide is different.
Yeah, I understand that the network television, because it cuts her off. A lot more opportunities are cut off when she shows that she's not willing to play ball and follow the rules of the show. Like, you're allowed to do what you do off the show, and we'll pull you on because you're a controversial figure because of that. But if you don't, then other shows are not going to take her on. I understand that. I guess what my main point is, also, she has not been around for very long. So let's be clear. That's like her whole cancellation is like about 5 years tops.
That's a pretty substantial amount of years, bro. That was like
this is that.
Like 5 years tops. That's bro. Like, if she wanted to, she could probably start live streaming. Probably not on Twitch, but on Kick, and get a like huge fucking massive base. The fact that she was already canceled before,
the cancellation is the birth of her career. She specifically went on there and said the things that she went on TikTok and played the dog and pony show of being, oh, look, I'm a white girl who says the N-word in the way that a black person would say it. Specifically, I say it with comfort. She didn't say it with the hard R. She wasn't trying to be racist. And that it was all a guise to make it so that she would get canceled for saying something that, well, black women understand what I'm saying. They know it's true. I'm not being... And all these white people, these sensitive white people are calling me, right? Like, that's the middle ground. That's the grift itself. That her career is the grift. So it's not like cancellation in the traditional sense. Cancellation in the traditional sense is like she tried to do something. She got in trouble for it in a way that she didn't want. She baited the cancellation. That is like part of her marketing.
Wait,
so
wait. Again, once again, I feel like we're conflating the two women, though. How did she... Oh, you mean like she baited the cancellation on her influencing? You're not talking about...
The very nature of her content is to create a situation where she can be the innocent white girl who is just trying to say something normal and is being called racist, and now she owns being called racist because, well, if it's racist to tell the truth, yada, yada, yada.
Right. Wasn't she doing the fucking, like, the tread wife shit? The tread Republican fucking wife thing? And to me, like, when she said it the first time, I kind of understood it, right? And then...
Well, she's doing a spinoff. She's doing a spinoff. because she's also trying to be like humorous and like.
But that was her marketing to begin with. All this shit did was, like you said, all it did was plateau. She had already had like a following of like people who wanted to be the fucking trad wife before then. Like when you look at like her history, she was doing the trad white girl thing, right? Like she was doing that, and it was working out for her. She had a massive base already, so like the N-word thing just added to it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So to be clear,
I don't believe she could be wrong. She was already like this. Like,
yeah, I know.
Okay, that makes no sense.
Me and you are not in a disagreement right now.
I feel like
we're not in a disagreement. I'm saying that cancellation has two different meanings.
Oh, yeah.
There's the one that you're thinking.
Yeah.
It's I need this clarification needs to exist for this conversation point to be closed. Cancellation, traditionally, the typical idea of it is that somebody was doing something ingenuine, not with the intent to be canceled, not to bait cancellation, but they got.
You're making shit up.
I'm not making shit up. Shut up, Glitterbell.
People bait cancellation all the time.
There's a fundamental difference when a person intentionally baits out cancellation.
It's still cancellation.
You're
still using the same word in order to make your point. Your own wording demonstrates my
word, comma, other word. Word, comma, other word. Prefix word. Intentional cancellation versus cancellation in the traditional understanding of the sense. Of course, it is in the same bucket, but it expands the bucket.
They're both types of cancellation. One is provoked and the other is natural, but they're both cancellation.
Yeah, one is happening in response to an earnest action, and the other is happening in response to a dishonest, intentional grift action.
Sure, but using racism to make money is still racism.
Okay.
No, I think he. No, Glitter. I don't know if
claiming it's not.
Yeah, no, Glitter. He agrees with that. He does agree with that. Yes.
Sure.
That is not.
So she's a racist content creator.
Yes.
Who is weaponizing cancellation for clout.
Yes, but there's.
Are we in agreement on that?
Yes.
Of course.
That's what he has said that. Yes.
Sure.
But she is racist. To be clear, she's racist in that the actions she's doing are racist. I think that if the money shifted,
I don't care.
She would become anti-racist. I don't think that she's racist under her core. I think she believes in capital N nothing.
And you have demonstrated this with what background about her?
Well, number one, the fact that she's gone through multiple stages, all of which were her following the wind. She didn't do the racism until it seemed like that was the way that she could cut through the chaff. Number two, it's the fact that when she does the N-word thing, when she does like the explicit racism part of her personality, she's very stunted. She's not able to perform it well. She also goes out of her way to say it
well.
To say it. Well, yeah, I said it in the chat. Where this is the video
imagine performing fucking racism at a high level?
This is absolutely psychotic. The things you can keep going. I don't want to cut you off.
I'm not even trying to be mean. I'm not even fucking.
The things you're saying are
trying to be mean or just trying to shit on you at all. No, I'm just like, I'm trying to see what professional racism is like. Like, I need a fucking sport.
Like, are you like, look, trust me, the racism I've surrounded myself with makes this chick look like a fucking amateur.
We get like fucking redneck, we get Nazis, we get like, we gotta host a fucking tournament.
Guys, you
don't even register this racism. Yeah.
Go ahead, Tuna. What? Wait. Stop doing the virtue signal for a second, and then what was
virtue signal? It's a joke.
No, okay, I understand. It's the outrage. I understand the outrage. Don't get me wrong. It's just that y'all have 30 seconds on the clock.
You're having your fun. My point isn't that she's not I'm saying that she is a professional racist, but I don't think she believes it deep in her heart. I think that she would turn.
I don't think it matters. I think that people use that to deflect away.
It does matter. The distinction does.
Well, I guess it matters to God when she's judged in heaven. But right now we have a society that's being impacted by her behavior. And this is an absolute way that people stunlock the conversation in order to prevent action. Is they force people to ruminate on the purity of the Christian soul of apparent racist worship. Like
all right, y'all. They're still in there. Sorry, I had to think fast, okay? I had to use the ice beans late. But here's the question now, okay? Because y'all know. Wait, who brought me back where? Oh, I see. Okay. Well, they got moved. Thank you. I think I understand what Tuna is saying. I just don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it matters. I don't think it best $5 I've spent. True. I just don't think it matters if like she's doing it for a grift or not. And I'm just saying because her doing it as a grift will be taken like genuinely by the most gullible people. And the people who are not gullible will see the value of having somebody who is in that position and will use her for their own reasons. Right? I mean, that just makes sense to me. It's crazy how at the end of that our question of why say any of this was never answered. I just don't like. Yeah, hold on. Let me catch up. What the heck is happening? I'll go and make sure they aren't breaking anything. Yes, please, thank you. And then you can explain to them that they ran out of time. How long did we even get into the video? I think we didn't even get that far. Okay, hold on. I don't even know where we left off because I went back and... It's fine to say it's fun to consider what our motivations are, but it's not important at all. Well, yeah, I mean, I think her motivate... You should have kept this Hey, no. Yamato, I have a price for keeping this going. That's what I said. I said there's a price for keeping it going, and that price is $5 per 5 minutes. I'm gonna go back to watching the video. That's what I'm gonna do. Oh wait, fuck, Christ. All right, where is it? Hello. Oh, here we go. Thank you.
Person is like that.
So you see somebody racist, and your first thought is, oh,
and also we might. I just went back to 4 minutes. I don't know if that's where we left off. So sorry about that.
About it.
I'm just glad. It's crazy. There's nothing I can do about it. You know what I mean? But at least they are exposing what they are. I don't want to have to deal with someone like you don't know you're doing service to someone and you're like, you're interacting with some people and you're like you're unsure about that person, but you cannot really. I can't pinpoint it.
But you understand that's all you said. All you really just said right now is I'm glad that she's out and she's saying what she's saying.
I said at least I'm glad that she's out. I'm not
said anything else about it.
No, I said I'm not happy that she's doing that. There's nothing much.
Okay.
What are you getting at? I'm not trying to understand.
Parallax.
I just think it's interesting that you're seeing someone who's unabashedly racist and out here endorsing the idea of calling a young kid, a 5-year-old, the N-word a bunch of times, and all you really had to say so far is, I'm glad she's open about it. That's pretty much most of what you said.
Yes, yeah, that's pretty much what I said. But I mean, of course, c'est sous-entendu que it's not good. Of course, it's not a great thing. I'm not happy that she did that. It's crazy that she did that, but she did something that's not legal. Legally, you can't do much about that thing. It just goes back to I'm probably the problem, to be honest with you.
If evil doesn't exist, don't use it as a bar to measure your disgust for reality. Oh, okay. Also, hold on a second, Parallax, real quick. No, I mean, I think Twitch chat is a different beast altogether. Okay, can I just say that much? What I was asking last night was more of a Discord culture thing. That's like, hey, chill space where we're vibing and sometimes having spicy debates in the VC. Twitch chat. Oh my god, Parallax. Like, you can't have a conversation in Twitch chat the same way that you can in Discord. I understand that, okay? So, as long as y'all are abiding by the freaking, toss and stuff, that's fine. Like, I can, I had an epiphany about the failures of communication in dialogues like this, and I see it everywhere now. Wait, I'm actually curious. What's your epiphany? Yeah.
Like it just reminded me of how things were back then.
Cannot escape the moral realism debate.
In the park, you would encounter these people. Like you would
Red
encounter
radius
these
triggered.
people. You would go in a park. You would be groups apart, and then there would be altercation with people that didn't like you because of the way that you look. At least you know either not to go to the park or at least fight back. But that's when we were kids. Things kind of change while being an adult. And
I was at an 8-minute mark. I'm okay. You know what? It's fine. I if that's okay with everybody, I'm just gonna keep watching from here because otherwise I will lose my train of thought again. Okay.
I wouldn't even know how to handle that. I don't even know how to handle that. I'm happy I know where to stand. That's the thing, is that there's been so many years that you didn't know. You're always like, you're claiming something and everybody's saying like, no, it's not that. And you're like, no, I'm pretty sure it's that. I got signs, but I can't clearly tell you, but it's really the feelings that I got. I'm not saying I'm super happy about what she did. Again, I'm just saying that, well, that's clear. We have that clarified. This is happening. That little boy, it's really unfortunate that it happened, that a little boy has autism. Unfortunately, he's going to be live and you're going to encounter people like that. It's really unfortunate. It's really bad. But you know what? I don't have an answer to this, and I don't even know what to do in those cases. And I don't even know what is the thing. What is the thing to do? What I have to say? Because I've been, after the 43 years of me in my life, I feel like I've been talking about it. I've been on shows. I've been talking about it. I've been talking to people about it, talking against it and stuff like that. I've been doing all these things. Not that nothing is done. It's very slow, and I don't know all these things.
Yamato, I'm assuming. Thank you for the sub. I'm assuming this means we're pulling everybody back in. Oh God, how do I do this? Fuck. How do I do this? I hate. Oh, there we go. Oh, amazing. Oh wow. Oh wow. That's great. I can just do it like this.
Priority and a sense of power over them. Oh wow, welcome back.
I can give you 15. I can give you 15.
Tuna Chip is explaining to us that racism is an immutable trait and you cannot change minds, and the most effective way to deal with racism is to kill racists.
Not fully true. I said that
sorry,
there are two types. No.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have a conversation start with a misrepresentation. I said that there are two types of racists, and the capital R racists, the people who believe it deep in their soul. The only thing that stops that, the only thing that prevents it, the only thing that changes them, it's not an argument, it's not discourse, it is literally disempowerment, physical.
Okay.
Break their kneecaps
is
is
true
what
or
I said.
untrue that you said that the most effective way to fight racism was violence and killing people?
Of course, yes, true. Definitely.
Okay, there you go.
But
I think that's an abhorrent position.
But the problem
That's the most
with that
effective.
Okay, also,
it's my turn to respond.
Also
I think
keeping
it's a abhorrent position.
Also keeping
I think
mind.
it's ahistorical. I think that both the civil rights movement in the United States and the civil rights movement in South Africa demonstrate that there's probably greater long-term efficacy for non-violent reform. I know that for revolutions, non-violent revolutions are like substantially more likely to last. So earlier you're saying you don't mind if racist people be racist, and I characterize that as apathy towards other minorities being subjected to racism. And then you said that the only way to deal with racism, or the most effective way to deal with racism is by killing racists. And I think that this paints a pretty concise picture of my critique of fucking the leftists generally, which is apathetic to real world harm and looking for justification for violence. It's fucking frustrating.
You're missing okay. So no, key distinctions. When I said capital R racism earlier in the conversation, I made clear that the definition of a capital R racist, as I'm describing it, is Turner Diaries, grab a gun and kill black people racism. That is stopped with violence because it is violence, right? That's dead obvious. You're not going to convince that person.
I think that you're changing your position to try to make it appear less insane.
You are. I literally
said also don't like what percentage of the population do you think that is relevantly applies to Turner Diary version racism?
Just woke up. Just now.
You think that? Okay, we know that there's a difference between the Ku Klux Klan and a woman who says the N-word, right?
No,
I'm asking what percent. Well, Yamato, go. Sorry.
Yeah, Yamato, please.
Oh, Yamato, were you talking to us? Were you speaking to us, or were you talking to someone else? Oh, okay. Never mind. Go continue.
He's good. He's doing something in the background.
Okay, Tuna, what percent of people who I consider racists do you consider capital R racists?
You didn't do anything. I literally just
Yamato, I'm gonna just mute him for his own sake. Okay, I'm just gonna mute him for a second for his own sake. Yamato, when you hear this, when you realize you're muted, just say it in chat, okay? I just don't want you to spill anything. Okay, go ahead, Tuna. Glitter, go. Wait, hello? 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 Oh no.
I'm waiting for. I think Tuna has the ball.
Tuna! What were you saying?
Look at me.
Phone overheated! Oh my...
Look at me actually oh great. Okay, so anyways, the shit that Tuna's saying is stupid as fuck. I'm gonna take advantage of the fucking technical malfunction in order to push W. So earlier he was asserting that he doesn't really care about people being racist and the only punishment that they should face is him not liking them, and he used that to defend the wanton platforming of openly racist perspectives. Even though for the majority of our lives we've lived in a society that largely censored that from our media and was also moving towards progress. And beyond that, I think that he's doing the pretty stereotypical thing of trying to shortcut the actual work of engaging with people in order to build coalition and understanding, and just say we have to do violence to solve this, but nobody's gonna do violence, so we can do nothing, so nothing is the key, and that's fucking frustrating. And it's just we have to fucking win elections.
Well, I mean,
that's what we have to do.
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, Tuna, fine. Okay. No, Tuna's phone finally, Discord finally kicked him out. Okay. I mean,
okay, I don't want to interrupt his comedy musings, so I'll let him go. Man, I'm on fire today.
No, he's no. His phone overheated, Glitter. Like his phone.
Oh, is he gone?
Yeah, he's been gone. His phone fucking literally overheated.
I thought you said he was back. I guess that's what happens. I'm not surprised given all the hot air he was blowing. Boom! Look at that. Combo.
No, I mean, I think personally, I personally don't think that there's I don't think that there needs to be any kind of distinction, because why would we want to distinct? Wow, I can use words today. Why would we want to differentiate?
I would want to distinguish.
Yeah, distinguish. Why would we want to distinguish, right? Oh, he's
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna keep the time
fundamentally,
by the way.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's my point. Is that it doesn't fucking matter. We can't truly know, and we just need to react in the way that that addresses the impact that they're having. And if they want to change our reaction, all they have to do is fucking change their behavior. Stop using the N-word. I don't know how this is super hard.
What's going on? I didn't hear anything since the overheat.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Glitter was just throwing.
I just gave you a flattering reintroduction.
Also, Yamato, I'm gonna unmute you now. Yamato, you have been unmuted, just so you know. We muted you for your own safety.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, and thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. I will add 5 more minutes.
The 200, yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Parallax. It super doesn't matter, and the mind reading is whack. There's no fucking way to know for sure, and it's a waste of goddamn time.
Thank you, I appreciate it. It was early. A lot of stuff was happening.
Yeah, you're fine. Move on. We can move right past it. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So, anyway, the primary discussion that we were having behind the scenes, if it matters, or is just my specific
yeah,
point.
We hear you. We hear you. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I said a lot of stuff was happening.
Yamato, we can hear you just fine.
I took the bath. You called me. I streamed for a little bit. I didn't.
I'm muting him again. I don't think it was I don't think he's talking to us.
I was gonna say, why is he telling us about taking a bath?
What?
I took a bath,
streamed
for a bit.
I want to let it be known that Yamato is effortlessly bringing the content.
He's been giving me subs to add. He's been giving me subs to add 5 minutes to the clock, and I don't know that he's turned on his cam.
Scrub-a-dubba.
Okay. Okay, now he's
okay.
Okay.
No, mute him again. He's still on the phone.
Yeah, I see it. Oh my Christ!
Okay.
I'm dying.
Yamato, you can indicate visually when it's time. Anyway, so the whole point is, I do not believe that the capital R racism, the specific type that needs to be violently aggressed, is that common. That was the question you were asking. I am still nonetheless saying that there is a distinction and an importance between the distinction, because when a person holds their guns, is organizing. I have been inside of situations where a person is willing to go covert, and it's not that they are only racist in the public eye because that's what they're paid to do. There's a behavioral difference. There is a threat of harm difference in orders of magnitude.
Okay. Yeah, nobody disagrees with you. We just think that the call to act comes far before then. And you are extremely lenient of stuff that Yamato and I both think probably shouldn't be tolerated in the public sphere. So there you go.
So what is it specifically in the
Okay,
public
yeah,
sphere?
I got you. You're back, Yamato.
What specifically in the public sphere? Yamato, you could answer if you'd like, since you were gone for a bit.
Okay, so I had to deal with that.
You're fine. You're fine. Yeah,
you're good.
Took the bath. You streamed a bit. You're going.
It's okay. No, just stop. Let him go. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So basically, all right. When we were having a conversation before we got pulled back in, the idea is that, like, when I say they take small wins and turn them into huge victories, and I don't think it takes money. Like, she does shit like this for money, but like the intentions to use the word was already there. So she's getting paid, like me and Glitter said, she's basically just getting paid to do what she's basically already been doing.
Yeah, indulging her worst instincts
I mean,
more.
it doesn't. To me, I don't think it matters either way. Whether she said it accidentally and she got rewarded for it, or if she said it on purpose and got rewarded for it, or saw somebody else using it accidentally or purposefully and they got rewarded for it. It doesn't matter, because either way, she is contributing towards, like, you know, especially when it blows up like this and like she becomes a big influencer like this, then it, yeah.
Wait. So,
but the scenario that we were given, that I gave before we got pulled in. Hold on, let me mute myself real quick. We'll mute that. Is that, like, what if some Nazi dude, like, he pays like $3,000 to hear like 25 N-bombs on live TV, right? And she does that. That still spreads the message, whether it was good or not, a waste of money. Still spreads racism.
I just don't see an issue with somebody paying somebody to say the N-word. The whole point is,
you don't see an issue with mainstreaming the acceptance of offensive, like, language, which is, we grew up in a society where that had been pushed, like, deliberately pushed out through, like, activist groups, because originally you could totally say the N-word a bunch, right? Like, yeah, like
it's always been a thing. Well, I mean, if you go far back enough, you were, yeah, obviously.
Right.
Everything.
There you go. So I think that what you're doing is, like, somebody's being like, hey, look at this.
Keep in mind,
this cult keeps fucking banging kids. That's really bad. We're against that. And we think that if people keep letting this cult openly bang kids, then people will start getting increasingly comfortable with banging kids. And you're being like, I've seen Waco. I've seen fucking Waco, man. What you're talking about is nothing. I saw fucking Jim Jones, man. And it's like, dude, maybe somewhere before Waco, we should get in it and be like, hey, stop this shit behavior. So, normalizing, giving people $1 million.
You have
to. Yeah, let him reply. Yeah.
You know, is I would say overly lenient.
What about you're the one being
fairly maximalist free speech position?
Glitter, go ahead. Yeah, Tuna, go ahead.
It's just a false discrepancy. I think that somebody's saying something I'm super against people saying it in person, because it is always paired as a threat of violence or an implication of the threat of violence. When somebody says it on broadcast, especially when they're being paid, they look like an embarrassment. They look like
but they're also emboldened. No, this is the problem, though. Yeah. What we're trying to say, and what I was saying.
So you would do a voice?
What I was saying earlier was that, to the stupid, they believe this, and there are quite a bit of not stupid people out there who realize that this is a grift, but nonetheless also understand that stupid people won't know. So they know that this can be they're just going to utilize that phenomenon in order to further.
What are we missing? What is being missed here?
Okay.
Wait.
You're basically okay. Here. No. But no, I know. But this is no. But like, wait, hold on. But you're saying, I agree that this is they're throwing their money into a grift hole. What I think what we're disagreeing on is whether that grift hole will eventually further bolster the actual racist people, or if it won't. And we're saying it will. And you seem to think that it wouldn't.
No, not at all.
Absolutely.
Right. And that's I don't think that's I think that the fact that Fresh and Fit are as popular as they are, I feel like signs point to no. Signs point to yes, it will bolster.
Of course.
What do you mean by bolster? Like, what are you worried about?
Racism, cause more racist action, cause more people to be denied jobs and housing due to racism. I'm explaining.
Hear her.
Okay.
I want to hear what
bolster.
being said.
Bolstering this idea that if you say the N-word in public, even if it is for a very specific racial connotation, you are saying it as an insult towards a child. That the societal consequences will be mitigated by our support. Therefore, reducing the effectiveness of the societal response.
Yes.
Just like this woman who said the N-word to the child has now a $500,000, which for a lot of people is a life-changing amount of money, right? Even if it is the case that one woman alone was affected and that's all that was affected, that woman just got reinforced for saying the N-word to a child.
And it also incentivizes copycats with a financial
but even if it even without that, I guess, can you square that away?
Yeah, it's the racist's money. They're paying a woman to say the N-word. She gets the money, and then they don't have the money anymore.
They don't have the money anymore, but the racist does. The racist has the money. What do you think?
And they spent it to amplify racism. They got what they wanted.
Hold on a second. Wait, are you like you're heading out? Oh, you want to get in? Okay, go ahead.
No, I want to get in.
Yeah, go ahead, Yamato. Go ahead.
Like, listen, Tuna. Okay, if I pay somebody to call somebody a fucking idiot, no matter what, right? Like 2,000. Sure. Say I pay Beans like $200 fucking right now to call somebody I dislike a fucking idiot. My message still gets across, no matter, even if it was a waste of money.
Yo, no other. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that.
I think that your position is immoral. So I understand it. It's not incoherent. I just think it's cynical and immoral, and it leads to a society that is highly exclusionary and that incentivizes predatory behavior at the expense of minorities. So everything you're saying makes sense. I just think that you're describing the morals of a bad person if you fully adhere to them.
So, we agree, because I heard you say yes, right? If my message gets through, right? Yes. And stupid people see that as, oh, well, that was a waste of money. There are also some other people that's like, that was a fucking smart idea. Let me do that too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the PewDiePie thing. The PewDiePie with the starving Africans, where you pay the classroom to like say Nazi shit.
Yeah, do you notice that like now there's a whole lot more Nazi shit everywhere?
I mean, okay, hold on. Wait. I don't think that's just because we are. I don't think that it's just because of.
I think the Nazi shit was just a part of meme culture to begin with, and
I think.
Well, no. I'm saying the only reason the only reason I'm like slowing your putting brakes on that is because like that could get into a lot. There's a lot more factors there. That's all. That's really all.
Of course.
I just want a better example. That's all.
I just think that like the normalization of this type of like fucking rhetoric led us to a situation where like we have actual 100-fold spike, like 100% plus spikes in anti-Semitism in like most of the English-speaking world right now, right? I think Australia's was like 600+% of new anti-Semitic incidents or attacks or whatever, and America's is like I think over 200 at least or 300. It's bad. And it's people are
I
like,
just
well,
disagree
you know,
on this.
look at all these things that happened in the lead up to now. And I'm like,
to
well,
be
now
clear,
it's shit.
to be also
Okay.
to be also hold on. To be clear, I said at the outset of this video that I would like to not veer into the anti-Semitism debate for one day. So if we can keep this to the race. No. You didn't know. So you're totally fine. I'm just like.
I didn't bring it up either.
No. You're fine. You're fine.
Regardless.
I'm not. I'm just letting everyone.
We can avoid. Okay, the Jews are off the menu. It's fine. We get it. We're not going to talk about like the change in crime around that. What I'm saying is, I believe that base structure. I believe the material world changes and then the language represents it. I do not believe that language is changing the material world in this strong way. I don't have this superstition.
Yes,
I think that people. I'm not
It's
done.
not a superstition.
Not done.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not done. I believe that people want to say the N-word because they're racist. I think that people pay people to say the N-word because they're racist. It's not that paying people to say the N-word turns that person racist. That person takes the money, if the money is worth the squeeze, and there's a person there that's paying for it. It's easy as it. No one would pay for somebody to say the N-word unless somebody wanted somebody to say the N-word. The problem's already existent. It's already in the room.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
No, but
okay,
no.
but that doesn't mean that you can't. Okay, you're just like. You are acting as though the notion of amplification just doesn't exist. Like the things that you're doing are like there's either holes in your brain or you're being deliberately manipulative.
Have a normal conversation with
obviously
me.
you don't want somebody to go around your town and say bad things about you as lies. You would know that that would be damaging, even if the person saying them was getting paid to it and didn't personally believe it. You would understand that if somebody just went around your hometown and was just like, hey, everybody should know if you've got kids, like these things, like you're just being obtuse.
Hey, listen.
Wait. Yeah, okay.
Hey,
let him go.
Number one, there is no lie in calling someone a slur. That is not the same thing. Number two, that's their right to spread rumors. I would also be at right to then take them to court. No shit. Like,
so you would care.
You
would fall back on a civil structure that enables recourse to protect yourself from that. Oh, interesting. So in that situation, you do think that society should provide the fucking infrastructure to protect you. But when it comes to things like minorities in the public sphere, you are vehemently opposed to a similar infrastructure or any kind of similar recourse.
Wrong. You are making that up. At what point have I ever said that there should be no legal recourse or no protection for minorities?
It doesn't exist. You haven't advocated for it. Well, okay, so it's a different type of verbal harm, right? So, like, it's not a lie about them. It's using words that imply lies about them.
No,
right?
The reason
you get to sidestep it slightly by using a word that packs a whole bunch of detrimental stereotypes in as you asserted about a person. And then you haven't technically said the lie. But fundamentally, it achieves the same fucking thing, man. So
no, it doesn't.
Like,
no,
you're
it
just
doesn't.
carving it. Okay.
Why do you think the reason I'm able to sue somebody for telling a lie about me is because I can prove that it has financial damages to me and that I can be recompensated for that.
Did you see the UN report that shows that hate speech often is a precursor to real world atrocities, or do you not care about that type of shit? What would I have to do to demonstrate to you that it matters?
What do you mean?
Like, what standard of evidence will you accept to demonstrate that society's mainstreaming slurs against people has a broad detrimental impact on
preventative law guy. I'm not a preventative law guy. I just don't believe in preventative law.
What do you mean by that? Okay,
you don't believe in preventative law.
So again, I think
you only believe in the reactive law.
I only believe that you should stop people from doing things that are harm. So if somebody tries to assault somebody, self-defense, and then you can shoot them.
So you just have decided that spreading fucking normalizing prejudicial lies about communities doesn't constitute harm.
Where's the lie in the N-word?
So as I previously explained, slurs are used to package damaging stereotypes and misconceptions into single words so that assholes like yourself
it's true. Like, I guess, where's the lie?
I'm 100% right. Like, you're just being like, you're just playing fucking 7th grade word games, and apparently you have a fucking 12th grade vocabulary, and that's impressed you. But the other 3 people on the phone call can see through it, and I think the majority of the audience can too. I feel like you should just take a step forward and grow from this. Spread new leaves. Blossom, Tuna Chip. You don't have to remain a myopic asshole. All right, sorry.
You have a hole bigger than in your head than fucking Abraham Lincoln after he got just. I'm just kidding.
I'm just reacting to the laughter of Beans and Yamato as I preach the truth here. So.
Oh my god.
All I'm saying is glit semper tyrannis or whatever. No, okay. The whole point I'm making is that if I hear somebody say the N-word, I know they're racist. I disagree with them. I disassociate with them.
I just think it's stupid. You're not developing your argument beyond the point that we've already all said we think is fucking.
Okay, no. Okay, wait. Okay, wait.
Beyond that.
Can we?
So
Can
I?
I'm sorry. Wait. Can I go back to? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna go back real quick because I don't think I understood your response to what Glitter was saying. Where, like, when you say that there's truth in the N-word, I am understanding what you're trying to refer to. I'm understanding what you're trying to refer to, but also the word itself is not. You can't. There is a negative connotation to it. There's a reason we do not use it.
Negative connotation.
There's a reason we don't use it. There's a reason we don't use it anymore. There's a societal reason that we do not use it anymore. Okay, it's not just like she's got brown skin. Right? It's also like I call myself a coconut all the time, and I realize what that sounds like. I would never call another person a coconut, right? Like because I understand, and even me saying it for myself is pretty fucking edgy.
It just feels like it drags on. The very obvious point is when a person says the N-word, they are being totally honest. They are saying who they are as the speaker. They are saying who the person they're referring to is.
Contrary to the argument you were making earlier, because earlier you were arguing that we couldn't know the honest truth of the person who said the N-word because you were arguing like a fucking moron that we had to differentiate between whether or not she meant it internally or meant it only as a grift. No, I mean you're just fucking coping, and now you are taking the exact opposite position.
You are mistaken.
Because you're arguing that simple utterance of the word is inherently
she is a mistaken woman. She is a woman who is confused. She is baffled.
You're confused. Okay.
She has missed her Ozempic shot. She is fat-brained and simple.
Wow.
No. The whole point is when somebody says it, hey, when somebody says it, they are themselves saying it. They are making clear that they are a person who says that word. That is what they are being honest about. It's not there. Okay. Yes, we know.
It has no significance as to their internal consequence, according to your earlier argument.
At bare minimum, we know that person doesn't care about the emotions of Black people. That's enough. That's enough for normal people to disassociate. That's enough for normal people to disassociate.
You were arguing that people shouldn't disassociate, and you were arguing that it should be normalized, it should be platformed. No, I'm not wrong.
You're making things up about me. You're a fibber. She's a lying woman.
I'm literally referencing earlier in the conversation when you were advocating for this woman to be platformed on
her nose is brown. She lies out of every orifice.
Okay, hold on. This is very funny, but also like, can we again go back?
I just don't want to have mudslinged at me. I'm being very clear about what my opinion is.
Okay.
Is it Beans Yamato? Is it untrue that earlier Tuna Chip was arguing that woman should be platformed on Piers Morgan? Is it true or untrue?
Wait, I'm sorry. Is this a question directed at me? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
You said Yamato, I believe, but whatever.
I said Beans or Yamato. Is it true or untrue that earlier Tuna Chip was arguing in favor of Piers Morgan's platforming the N-word lady?
No, he's not. Okay, to be clear, I guess you could say yes, but it's not because it's because he thinks that. No. He thinks that the negative. He doesn't see our point about the the danger of such a platforming.
So yes.
Well, he thinks that it's
Yes.
wait, hold
why.
on, wait. He thinks it's a win. He thinks
Shut
it's
up
a
for
win.
5 minutes.
He thinks it's a win in a different way. He thinks that it's a people throwing money into a black hole, and so therefore they are wasting their resources on something that is ultimately going to be like yesterday's news in like 15 minutes.
I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but the answer is yes.
Okay, sure.
Great.
But
So it's
No,
established.
the answer is
So
not
now
yes.
he's arguing that
The answer's
people,
not yes. The answer's not yes.
He says that the answer is yes.
Okay, hold on.
You have a,
Then correct us.
you have a negative
Tuna.
understanding.
To correct us then, Tuna.
No, I don't.
Wait,
You're
Glitter.
no,
Wait,
no,
no, Glitter.
no.
Let him.
You're rhetorical.
No, wait. Glitter. Let him finish. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Not everybody's a worm on a hook. You fucking retard. Take a goddamn
Okay,
trip.
meta conversation over. Go.
Okay. I'm saying that, well, number one, I don't consider Piers Morgan to be on the left. He's not a person I can make choices for. So it's not like that's something that I can go into and like I'd be in the boardroom with him.
This isn't
Come again?
responsive. This is not responsive.
I don't care whether or not she's on or not.
Right.
I'm not saying that she should or shouldn't. This idea that I'm saying that she should be platformed, it's just so silly.
Okay, but earlier you said that people who are racist should be ostracized just moments ago. And I'm saying that putting her on a panel of 8 is the opposite of ostracization.
No,
and now,
no.
And I'm saying that that's the opposite of socially ostracization. You're missing the point.
Okay, wait.
It's not a should.
Okay. Yamada's got his hand up.
Wait, yeah,
not
no.
a should.
Yamada, Tuna, finish your point and then Yamada go.
I'm saying that I, as a person who doesn't like racists, don't associate with racists. I think racists should associate with one another. It's within their best interest to. I also think it's within our best interest to keep the people who are not real racists in there, siphoning money from them, grifters.
We should keep the
Wait. No, Glitter. Let him finish. No, just keep going, Tuna, please. Please just keep going.
Sorry, I just hate her.
Yeah, it's
I just
fine.
hate her,
It's
and
fine.
I wish she would shit out it.
It's fine.
Okay.
Just keep going, please.
She's an interrupter. Okay.
Okay, I understand.
I'm just saying.
Muted.
When you have, if we could send women like her into.
No, I'm going to mute you too.
Not Glitterbell.
Oh, okay.
Shut up. You don't understand what I'm saying.
Oh, okay,
not
sorry.
Glitterbell. This racist woman. If we could send people like that woman into the racist community to dance on TikToks and take all these donations and waste all their money, I would pay for it to be done. It is important to. It's not the same thing as money going to the Daily Stormer to bail out people who are violent insurgents. It's actually taking money out of the pockets of the people who would normally spend their money in that way. You have to admit to yourself that there are racists, there are Nazis, and because there are ones that have financial means to finance projects, you would rather them get so horny and excited about this fucking grifting lady that they waste all their money than them buy AR-15s and send them to, Johnny Mick Hawaiian shirt to go ahead and do some shit in Atlanta.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's your point. I think I understand your point. Okay, Yamato, go. I'm unmuting you, Glitter, but that's only because that doesn't mean it's your turn to go. I'm just unmuting you. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Yamato.
Okay, I understand what you are saying, right? But when we look at it, these things have real tragic outcomes, right? And that the problem with that is, yes, they'll take their money, but people will see this, right? Like all right, I'm just gonna give a whole we all know about
what's the convo today, and can I come in and derail it?
Acting like an asshole, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
TikTok influencer, asshole, racist,
right.
whatever.
Right, yeah. And just been an asshole, racist, going around. That emboldened a lot of people to do the same fucking stunts that he was doing for money. Well, if we're talking about this lady, people will think it is okay to be a racist piece of shit because you'll always get paid for it. That in turn will spread racism, whether these people aren't actually racist and they'll take the money. Doesn't matter. What matters is that racism is being spread. They don't have to have these beliefs, but as long as they say the N-word for fucking $200, Like on stream, it doesn't matter, right? Like, and what you're doing is, I would say you're downplaying the effects of what this would do.
Yamato, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Can you bridge because my theory is that imagine a variable X, and it's the budget. It's the sum of money that racists online have that they want to spend on projects, and they can either spend it on material projects or they can spend it on culture war nonsense. Which I'm putting my finger on the scale. Culture war activity. So I'll take my finger off the scale. How is it? Because my understanding is that the influencers influence other people to be influencers. Influencer. Do you believe that people who are influencers influence people to do militant acts of violence? Or not?
No, but that's not how that. But they would know. But they would not. No, but that would not.
Well,
Okay,
I
it's
just
very
want
rare.
one answer.
Very rare. Okay.
I want one answer.
Yeah,
Nigga,
sorry. Go ahead.
What?
Okay.
I want one answer. Like, I want one person at a time because I'm hearing
sorry.
multiple people talk at the same time. That's
Okay,
what I'm
first
frustrated.
Sorry, it was at Yamato. Go Yamato. I'm sorry.
Okay, first off, no, because we're not talking about. Listen, okay, we're not talking about acts of violence right now. All right, that's not happening right now. I would say less people would do acts of violence towards a minority group if an influencer did it, right? I don't think that would happen. But on terms of using like hate speech, because that is the best action of nonviolence, yes, they would definitely do it 100%. We're talking about an action of nonviolence. I don't think you can bring up an action of violence. It's to be determined.
Well, to be clear, the reason I bring up violence is because I believe that this money is going to go to one thing or another thing, right? I don't think that the money just appears out of nowhere and goes to the racists, or rather goes to the performers, the people who say the N-word. I think that it comes from racists to them, but that money is sitting in their pockets, ready to be financing any number of projects, and I would much rather it be wasted on something that fundamentally is a net negative comparatively to what the money could be spent on otherwise.
Okay, real quick. Okay, Yamato, I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna jump in and answer this. Okay. Tuna, I understand what you're literally thinking of it in terms of like you are thinking of it in terms of like somebody has $10 and like $7 of those dollars is being used to spend on like essentials. $3 of those dollars goes towards like this person's GoFundMe or whatever. You would rather them waste their money, whatever. I understand that I understand like the point you're trying to make. The problem is that's not how this kind of stuff gets actually financed in the first place. Yeah, the random shitter on the road is going to be giving them like $1 or $2, but the other people who, especially people who understand the value of boosting these grifters or boosting these boosting the woman with the GoFundMe, they are going to pour in as much money as they can because it amplifies and like reinforces again that you can say these words without having the social consequence for them. So it doesn't matter if like your random poor like person can only like spend they blow their like cash on a grifter. It doesn't matter. Because ultimately they're going to get
Wait, I have a response before Tuna gets back in.
Yeah,
I also have a thing
the money is going to come from a variety of places, right? The problem is they are getting that money and so are continuing to spread the message. And if they're big enough, they get to go on Piers Morgan and do it too.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, even if Tuna refuses to acknowledge it, for the benefit of Yamato and Beans in the audience, I think we can all probably agree and understand this. A lot of these people understand that when they pour money into the culture war, orgs like ICE do the violence for them, and then they get to gleefully watch it on TV. Well, a mom and her baby gets arrested, and even though they personally didn't buy the bullets, they contributed to winning the election that makes that shit happen, and they love it.
So that is also a way that this money translates into real world harm.
I don't see where the how the money is there translating towards like the election being won.
I said that you wouldn't acknowledge it, but
No, I'm asking. I'm asking. It's a question. My God.
It's not a question.
It is.
So the way is that influencers influence people. That's why they're called influencers, is because the audience is often responsive to, is often responsive to the messaging. So outsized interest or malicious interests often capitalize on morons like this lady and pour money into them. They also get a bunch of grassroots funding, like people, support fucking mega churches who also influence people. And you can do all kinds of superior signaling, like scoffing or laughing or eye rolling at it. But the truth is that it has an impact, Chip. And so it fucking matters.
To connect
the cumulative effect of this. Yeah, but you're not going to read through a study if I link it, and if I link it, you're going to try to, you're not taking this seriously. You're just acting like language doesn't impact people. No, you're not.
I am having,
you're having fun.
I am, and you stop.
You're not trying to find the truth here.
Okay, wait. No, come on, stop. Okay.
Can a fucking conversation happen where it's not you make an accusation, I deny it, I give my response, you make another accusation. This is the loop we're on. It's very annoying. I am actually interlocuting with you.
Okay.
I don't get where you get this fucking bias.
Well, I'm frustrated with the notion that influencers don't influence people, which seems to be a necessary thing for us to adopt for your fucking
conversation. Fucking sucks.
Yeah, it was me summarizing your position.
Okay, all right, okay. Hello, Leonard. Go ahead.
You making a fucking supposition about me, not something I said. Annoying as hell.
Okay. Leonard,
yes, you're annoyed. I'm offended by your position.
Leonard, go. Okay, come on, Leonard, go.
No, I said what I needed to say. This conversation sucks. Why are we circling around? Why are we circling around this like useless, not helpful thing? We should be asking the question instead, why is it that that people in this conversation are against social consequences for speech? That's really the thing everyone's disagreeing about, right?
Oh, I'm not against if that's what I'm supposed to be on the side of.
That's what, yeah. Well, how else would you disagree with people like deplatforming or ruining the life of this person, right?
I'm not. That's not why I'm in the conversation.
That's how it started.
No,
that's where the call-in began.
Well,
I'm not against the cancellation.
Then why did you initially call in? Explain that in 2 sentences.
I was asked to call in by Beans.
So you had no opinion when you came in?
No. He Tuna, tell us your position with the essentially the support of the grifting. Like, you had a point
I'm
about
saying that it's
the fake
It's better that you have it's better to let them waste their money on a grifter who will flip sides as soon as the money changes than to have it so that they're giving money to actual like violent interlocutors.
How are we setting up this dichotomy? These are the only 2 choices we have? Either these people are going to give money to a conservative racist GoFundMe or a stupid celebrity GoFundMe. Those are the only. That's what we're dealing with.
We have the ability to try and convince people to spend it on a waste rather than something that has material change.
Who is we here? The original criticism was whether or not this person should have been on Piers Morgan. What the fuck are you talking about? Are you lost?
No, I don't
what
care.
You're saying has nothing to do with this person being on Piers Morgan. That's what you came in to talk about initially.
That's not what I came to talk about.
Well, no, he came to basically say that like people supporting the racist grifter that's just what they're doing. They're just supporting the racist grifter. It doesn't ultimately contribute towards like the broader spread of racism. If I'm characterizing that correctly, Tuna.
It's more so that it doesn't lead to material successes for racism. I think that it's an expression of their will, and I think that that's the primary thing of it. Obviously, when you pay a person to say the N-word, you're doing it because you're racist, and that's an expression of that. So I think that it pre-exists. That's one clear thing. So I don't think that there's a changing of the social substrate, and secondarily, as opposed to when a person expresses their will via paying somebody like bailing out the guy from the Daily Stormer or bailing out somebody that drives their car into a protester, etc. At least this one is a waste of their money and doesn't take a violent person, put them back on the street to kill another person, to harm another person.
But hold on, but in this case, it quite literally does though, because okay, I'm just giving you okay, not violent, okay, but like in this case, it's doing the thing that is the bad thing, okay. Okay, this person, the person who had her life ruined, right, by calling a child an N-word, right, is now been given directly money so that she doesn't have to feel the consequences of her actions at all.
Sure, yes, correct.
Okay. Do you think that in the future she's going to keep saying the N-word or not?
Probably. She might pull out of it and go. It really depends on the amount of money and her own personal choices.
Okay,
but,
okay, just say no. Just use the I will just use the example, right? $500,000. She comes across another situation like that again, where like another black child comes and takes something out of her purse or whatever it is that happened.
Really, what I anticipate?
You think she would call that child an N-word again?
I don't think that she'll be in that circumstance exactly, because what has happened to the situation and the reason that she's being paid and the reason the media spectacle exists to begin with is to kind of lock her into the position that conflict will come to her and she will become a continuous news story. So
I actually fully agree with you that history can't literally repeat in the exact same way twice. So it is it is a fact of the universe that she will never be in the same position twice. Good point.
No. You're missing the point that I'm building towards. I think that what she's put into a position now, the next situation will be somebody saying, "You're that racist white lady," right? Antagonizing her. She'll say it again. She'll probably get paid some amount, but I think that
what about
it's much more likely to be another person. Like I think the copycat is much more likely to happen.
The copycat is much more likely. But again, like.
What about the affiliative responses, though? What about the people who are like, "Oh yeah, you're that racist white lady. Hell yeah, let's do business."
Yeah, he doesn't care.
What about those responses?
What about them?
Well, you seemed to find it was meaningful to indicate that there would be some people who would be like, "You're that racist white lady. Get away from me." Why are we not also indicating the equal number of social interactions they'll have in the United States?
No. That's part of the. I agree. That's part of the whole thing. The idea is that
I just wanted to name that since you had left it out of your analysis.
So my understanding, like the reason that everything is playing out as it is, and the reason to give money is to create outrage about being paid, so that she will be a target of harassment from the normal world. But then over here, the dark world, the money world, will then be the new place for her. It is an attempt to radicalize her and to use her as a punctuated instance that could then perpetuate culture war. That is the game being played.
Perpetuate culture war. What does that mean?
So like she probably shouldn't be on Piers Morgan then, right? Since that appearance kind of feeds the whole.
The woman we're talking about is not the woman that's on Piers Morgan. It's the person that the story is about, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but her story is only featured because of the other guest that is on Piers Morgan. Yeah.
Should it be? I don't know. I don't know how to do the calculus for that, because I personally think.
What would the calculus look like? Like, describe the process of calculating that.
Yeah. So Piers Morgan is a moderate voice that is able to try and like push against the creation of, because that narrative is going to happen in the alternative media no matter what, and it's also going to happen online, and everybody's online now. So for Piers to respond and to be the person who's saying you're a despicable racist and you're only defending this woman because she's a despicable racist, that does have a positive impact. I don't know how to do the positive versus negative calculation is what I'm saying.
We'll try.
I don't know how you would begin to try, because I don't know what the number of people.
Well, if you don't even know how to begin, like, is there even a coherence to your belief system? Like, how do you even make the rubber meet the road? You have to calculate it.
You're Leonard, this is why I don't have an opinion on whether or not, listen, this is why I don't have an opinion on whether or not she should be on Piers. Whether Piers should cover the story, because I don't consider myself of the
You've
information.
been talking about this for
you.
like a half an hour. What do you mean you don't
That's
have an
not
opinion?
why I'm here, though. You are mistaking why
You
Beans
have
brought
no
me in.
opinion,
I
but
made
you've
a
been speaking
comment.
for a half hour.
I made a
Is what
comment
you're
for a
just
very
saying to me.
specific thing, which is not talking about Pierce, but talking from the perspective of a person who is like online and is making a discussion about whether or not you should talk about this story, interact with this story from our level, which is
So
much different.
So I'd like to bring
I'd
like to bring this all the way back to the beginning then. Now that you've said you don't really have an opinion on the subject, why say any of this? What is the point of saying this? What is the point of sharing the things you've shared? Why did you say this?
In chat?
Yes.
Yeah, basically just said, well, it's better that it be. I'm feeling it's fortunate that this money is being spent on this woman, this grifter woman, rather than being spent on something more material. Because I know the money's out there and the racists are out there that want to spend the money on something. I think it nets positive that this is the situation we're in, and that rather than attempting to, attempting to make a strong attack against that state, that we should feel fortunate that they're wasting their money, and we should spend our time and efforts doing something more productive than trying to change the condition they're in. Because I think the condition they're in is actually suboptimal for them.
Wow. So our mistake is that we aren't adequately grateful that people have paid this woman $1 million to call a child the N-word.
No.
That does sound like kind of what you're saying. I'm just going to let you know to everyone else in the audience, that's what it sounds like.
We're talking about two different things. I'm talking about the grifter woman on the TV. That's what I was talking about, not the woman calling the child the N-word.
Well, but you're also happy that she got GoFundMe dollars from racists, because those people could have spent that money on like more impactful causes, right? It's the same point. It translates perfectly well to her situation.
I don't know enough about the woman that said it to actually know whether or not the money going to her.
Well, you wouldn't need to, right? Because you know that right-wing grifters are the people who are sending her the money, right?
No, she could very easily be you're asking me my opinion on the matter. I don't have control over the money, so I can't do anything about the money.
Nobody asked
when you're
about
asking me my opinion about whether or not it is good that that woman got the money, I don't know whether or not she is situated with the Klan, whether or not she is going to be in a position to redistribute that money towards material actions, or if she's just going to use it to like fight legal battles and it's all going to get burnt up.
Is contributing money to her GoFundMe? Just let's go through that real quick, since you seem unsure.
Amazing.
What do you mean?
Who do you think is? I mean, don't ask me. What do you mean for a very plainly English worded question, unless you're ESL.
No, the second part is what I'm asking. What do you mean to?
Hey, man,
like, what do you mean I'm unsure?
Who do you think? You seem on. You just made a statement where you said you're unsure who's contributing money to her GoFundMe.
No, it's not. No, it's not that I'm unsure who's contributing money. I'm unsure about who she is and
who she's affiliated with, right?
Can I finish my sentence?
Well, no, the thing you're saying is a distraction. So I'm cutting you off. It is.
I'm trying to be clear.
It transparently is. You're trying to distract from the point that you originally made, which is that the reason you're happy that this woman is getting money, the woman that is on Piers.
Not what I said. I wasn't talking about the money.
Well, you explicitly talked about money when you were talking about places that people in the right wing were sending their money.
Talking about the grifter lady, not the lady who said
All right, follow me here. I'm extrapolating the principle of what you said.
There are things, but I know things about the grifter, and I don't know things about the lady. And if I knew things about the lady, which is why I'm bringing it up to answer the question,
but you're invoking the principle to justify the thing, so you can't say it's only the context.
No, it's not the principle.
That doesn't make sense.
No, it does make sense. I'm saying because I know that the grifter lady is, or because I have a strong sense that the grifter lady is not going to redistribute that money towards violent action. I think that it's better that it go there, but I don't know that about the random woman.
I'm talking about the reason. I'm talking about the because. It's the because behind the statement that you're able to accept in the other instance that that's where the money is going. And I'm saying in this instance with the other woman, let's think for a moment. Who do we think is giving money to her GoFundMe?
I would say that the Daily Stormer has had to have had like readers send money, if not they themselves. That'd be bare minimum. I would say a lot of random people on Twitter that are like fans of various right-wing streamers. You'd probably get a decent number of the short guy with the hat in the compound.
Do you think
Simple.
it's a good thing that they sent their money to her instead of like a PAC or like a right-wing political cause that would actually do something? Would you say that would line up with the sentiment of exactly what you originally said about the other woman?
Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know whether or not the woman herself is a violent aggregator. So that's the difficulty, because
a violent aggregator. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know whether or not she's a member of a clan.
No, she's not a member of a clan.
I
but
also want to say,
yeah.
I got something. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, go.
Oh my god.
I just
Great use of air.
I totally agree.
Great use of air. No, I don't know. I don't know whether or not the woman who called the baby the N-word is herself involved and will redistribute the money that was given to her in order to fund violent acts of terror.
Okay.
So we don't know.
Well, you don't know that about any stranger, technically, right?
Well,
you don't know that about like the homeless guy on the corner that just got $20. Like you don't.
I have a much stronger sense, though. Obviously, these things are relative. I have a much stronger sense that this grifter lady, considering the way that she's changed positions multiple times and she is like changed her career trajectory.
No, we're talking about the other lady.
Follow the money.
We're talking about the single mom with the GoFundMe.
But I'm saying this in relativistic. So when I say her, the grifter versus the lady on the ground, because the grifter, I feel confident saying that it's good that she is a black hole of money for the right. I don't know whether or not the woman on the ground is a black hole of money, so I can't actually say a positive or negative statement about the exchange.
You think the random citizen is less potentially of a black hole of money for people to throw into than the grifter appearing on Piers Morgan? That's the argument that you just made to me.
Yes.
You're retarded. You understand that, right? You are a retard.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have brain
I don't use that word.
You think that it's less useful to put money into the random citizen with a child who probably lives in fucking Missouri than it is to put money into the social influencer appearing on a Piers Morgan panel? Did you graduate high school?
Okay,
yes,
hold
man.
on. Okay, hold on.
Yes,
you just
man.
established a racist lottery.
For you to actually like take this seriously.
I am
you have to think about this for 5 seconds and realize that obviously the grifter has more influence with the money that she uses than the random woman who's probably going to spend half of that money on her debt. Really?
I disagree.
What is the social impact of the two parties spending their money here?
Because I think that the woman on the ground could easily give her money to
who?
She's not going to give. No, she's not going to give her money. No, she's not going to give her money to the clan. To be clear, she's not going to give her money to the clan. She could, but she's not. No. She's going to use this money.
She could literally turn it into crypto and then just send it to human traffickers.
I mean, okay, like literally, she could just invest it and then live off of the money that her money makes. Okay, that's realistically speaking. If she's smart, that's what she would do. If she's even smarter, she'll turn this into an opportunity to go on the media tour, go on all of the talk shows, go on this lady's talk show, by the way, get her own damn talk show, get her own damn meme coin, and then, like, even if she's, ultimately, like, flies away into irrelevancy, she has enough money for the rest of her life. And again, going back to say, the consequences of her actions will not touch her negatively. That is the point.
I understand that she might go in the direction of like a slur Tua. I understand that she might do N Tua or something, but I'm also of the belief that she could do something much more dangerous because she's not in the public eye. She doesn't face the same catastrophic attack to her financial stability that an influencer does. While simultaneously influencers influence people, I also think that influencers survive off of the will of those people. This woman can spend that money to, like, you're not able to get away with redirecting funds and not having your accounts closed in the way that people who are financing the like actual militant actions, you can't do that as an influencer. That's why these parties are like separated in two things.
No, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Could you restate that?
Yeah, my brain also was unable to process that word salad.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, well, okay.
Okay.
Could you say that again,
It's
please,
just yeah.
I mean, what Bean said. Sorry, sometimes yeah.
No, I'll just try it again. Because I could rephrase. Maybe there's a simpler way. I'm saying that because she's an unknown entity, I can't make a statement about her because the other person is a known entity, and I believe that she is a net negative in terms of the money that goes into her. Like the money that goes into her, I think it disappears from the
but it doesn't disappear.
Like the pool of money that can be spent on violent action. Yeah. That is the reason that I think that I can make a claim about her. I'm not making a relativistic claim because I can't, because I don't know.
Your whole argument is based on you evaluating one thing is worse than the other. But then when we ask you to evaluate another portion of the exact same situation, you're suddenly incapable of doing so. It's infuriating.
It depends on what the two things I'm comparing are. Can I make an evaluation or not? I just told you I don't have the things necessary in place for the calculus.
Yeah.
Tuna, the person, okay, the person who is the grifter, right? Do you think that, like, that, again, I think I just keep coming back to this point because I don't understand how you don't see this. Do you not see how, like, them going on a media tour and them, you know, getting as big as to go on to Piers Morgan, do you really think that no one would take the message away that they can say N-words with impunity? Like, do you really think that wouldn't happen?
No, I think that some people are going to get that, but
but you don't think that you just you just don't think that it's. Oh, sorry.
I'm not. I'm finishing. I think that nonetheless, I think that the losses. I think that they're not getting their return on investment.
What are the losses?
The money, the financial money that has to be thrown at this woman. I don't think they're getting ROI. I think they are getting a net negative ROI, and beyond that, I think that once she grows to a significant enough size.
So is your only eye in this situation like dead minorities? Is it like, are you like, is like the only way that you think racism can be expressed is like actual fucking violence against minorities? And so your idea is that, like, if money is spent in ways that produce other discriminatory fucking obstacles to the lives of minorities, as long as you're not seeing the corpses pile up, that doesn't count as I. So in your mental calculus, it's like literal lynchings versus like 0-0, and so it's a win. Like, that's what I like, blowing my mind. Or do I misunderstand?
It's not that it's the only thing. It's just that I think that death is extremely, extremely, extremely higher value.
But do you think that only is achieved by means of direct violence? Don't you think that, like, forcing minority communities out of safe and secure housing and into places where they have fucking lead pipes and are next to, like, downwind from chemical plants, aren't all of these ways that actually do result in the one thing that you are willing to care about, because apparently any suffering prior to death is irrelevant to you?
It's not the one
thing. These things also have direct impact on killing minorities.
Wait, okay, he gets it. Go ahead.
You never stop shadowboxing. It's insane.
Go ahead, too. I don't think that's what you're saying, but go ahead.
Murder is not the only fucking line for me. I just said that it's not, and then you acted like it was to say your next piece. Find a creek. Put a brick in your goddamn shoe.
The creek is that you've said it's not. You said it's not the line for you, but you won't say where your lines are.
Because
so you're taking a obstructionist fucking snaky position.
Okay. What is your line then, Tuna? Like, what would be the line, or what would be the material harm that you would need to see coming out directly from this in order to be able to say, okay, yes, maybe we shouldn't support, or we shouldn't allow the grifter people to be supported in this way?
Well, I would never prevent people from spending money between one another. That doesn't seem like.
No. I'm not. Okay, no. Hold on. Hold on. No. Let me cook. It's not about you preventing the spread, like the transfer of money. It's about it's about, like, doing what you can to not let that type of thing be platformed. And here, I'll even, you know what? Here, I'm even going to pause the timer so that I can call out Parallax right the fuck now. This is the difference between the two panels. We're not talking about whether it's okay to say the N-word. We're talking about the implications of whether this grifter lady is, like, harmful, right? That's fundamentally different. It is. I don't have any racists on this panel. Nobody here is a racist.
It is one layer abstracted away. Yeah, it's one layer abstracted away.
I'm not even. I'm not even abstracting it. I'm just saying that.
Well, no, okay.
Like,
be clear.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's an abstract form of the same thing. It's on a different layer of abstraction. We're having discussion not about what it's okay for people to do. We're having discussion about what it is okay or what media should platform. That's a different layer. That's a different.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
right. Fine. I don't care. I'm just saying that, like, I fundamentally disagree to the first layer. Okay. So here's the thing, though. Sure. Like, oh, bye, Yamato. Here's the thing. I think basically that, like, I guess. Okay. Sorry, I got derailed. What is the line? Like, because for me, it's I would not want to, for example, platform this type of lady at all, right? And even though I can't stop people from spending their money, I can make sure that, for example, like, if I found out that somebody that I knew was donating to this like Gives and Go or whatever, that would be somebody that I would treat them as racist. Because they are quite fundamentally like they are.
It seems like a reasonable situation to use the normal mechanisms of social pressure, which is what you're describing, which is like, ew, gross.
Yes.
I don't like that.
Right.
Yeah, which I've already said. I would disassociate with anybody who's racist. I don't like racists. It's very clear.
Friends.
Hello, Parallax.
Hello. I was called out by name.
Yeah, I know.
Weird. Interestingly enough, Wick hasn't held a panel on this.
Okay, cool.
So he also didn't have racists on. You didn't point out a difference at all.
Okay, cool. My criticism would still stand because you're basically saying I'm the same as the thing I was criticizing.
Yeah, I'm just picking on you. It's okay.
Okay. All right.
Just like I'm picking on Tuna for having this absurd take.
I know that people disagree with me. That's fine.
Yeah, I figured.
And it's not even like I think that this is like my best take, and I didn't come on here. I came on here because I was asked to, and frankly, I like talking with beans. But it's a throwaway comment in chat. I will still stand by it because I do believe it, but I just don't even think that it's the thing that's the strongest. My line is.
What is your line?
It's a difficult thing to say because, like, obviously I'm not going to associate with anybody that's racist. I'm going to what'd you say?
No. I was just go ahead, acknowledging. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna associate with someone who's racist. I'm not gonna give them.
No. Let him.
Okay.
Yeah. Why?
I'm gonna go.
This is not a normal thing to think about.
Bye, Para.
Okay. See you, Para. Yeah. I wouldn't finance it. I wouldn't associate. If I owned a media. If I owned a media conglomerate, I would fire them. But, like, I'm not a person with a lot of social influence, so I don't think about that a lot. I don't have, like, there's nothing. There aren't situations like this that I get put in, so yeah, I don't think about them very often. But it would be within that sphere of influence. Like if I had a boss. We have ways to deal with that. If somebody was an employee and they were being racist, we have ways to deal with that. So I would use those means. They exist. Very normal stuff. Now, when it comes to somebody on the TV, on a show, because I don't have control over broadcast in that sense. But if I did, yeah, I wouldn't have them on my show. But I'm not Piers Morgan.
That's great.
So
you would actually deplatform them.
Right, like that's. I guess
Should we shame you for that?
mean, okay, no. Okay, yeah, I guess that is that's a good question. I suppose is like you would essentially not allow them on the platform because you still like recognize that you would still judge them because they said an N-word, even if they were racist.
Well, yeah, of course. I don't like racists. I've already been clear about that.
Okay, and that is time. Oh my god. Perfect. Perfect ending. Knockout. Okay.